The night Sophie was born, the moon was bright and the stars filled the sky. But she was not born alone. A few minutes earlier, her mother had given birth to another baby girl. She named the first Sonia, and the second Sophie. They were identical, twins, so alike in their face that even their mothers sometimes had to look twice. As the girls grew, people in the village admired them. These twins are blessed, the villagers would say. One is fire, the other is water. One is a storm, the other is calm. And they were right. Sonia, the elder by a few minutes, had a strong spirit. She was bold, outspoken, and always wanted to be first. Sophie, the younger, was quiet, gentle, and humble. Though they looked the same, their hearts were very different. From childhood, people noticed that Sonia wanted attention while Sophie gave attention. Sonia loved praise, but Sophie gave love. Their mother often said, "My daughters are like two seeds from the same pod, but they will grow into very different trees." As they became young women, their beauty bloomed like flowers in spring. Men in the village whispered about them, arguing over which was more beautiful. To many, they were equal, but their spirits separated them. Sophie's kindness made her glow, and Sonia's pride made her sharp. Among the young men who admired the twins was one named David. He was tall, strong, and hardworking. More importantly, he was honest and gentle. Many girls in the village wished for his attention, but David's heart saw only one person, Sophie. Whenever David came to visit their home, Sonia's heart would leap, hoping his eyes would rest on her. But every time, he asked for Sophie. When he spoke to Sophie, she blushed and smiled. Sonia noticed, and her heart began to burn with jealousy. Why her? She would ask herself. Why does he not see me? We share the same face. If I stood where she stood, he would not know the difference. But she was wrong. David had chosen Sophie, not for her face, but for her heart. Months later, David asked for Sophie's hand in marriage. Their mother agreed, and soon the whole village celebrated their union. Sophie became David's wife, and their home was filled with laughter. Sophie cooked with love, cared for her husband with devotion, and their bond grew strong. But in the shadows, Sonia watched. She visited often, pretending to be supportive. Sophie, ever kind, welcomed her warmly. "Sonia, this is your second home. You're always welcome." Yet each visit tore Sonia apart. She saw how David looked at Sophie with love in his eyes, how he reached for her hand, how he smiled at her laughter. That love, Sonia thought, should have been hers. At night, lying alone in her hut, Sonia's heart hardened. If Sophie were gone, she whispered to herself, David would need someone who better than me, her twin. He would not remain alone forever. The thought frightened her at first, but jealousy fed it day by day until it became a plan. One hot afternoon, Sonia helped Sophie fetch water from the river. As they walked back, Sonia studied with her sister. Sophie's steps were light, her voice sweet. Villagers greeted her warmly. Sonia clenched her jaw. "Everyone loves her, no one sees me." That night, Sonia returned to Sophie's home with a basket of fruits. Sophie smiled, hugging her. "Sonia, you are so thoughtful." But in the basket was something more dangerous than fruit. Sonia had crushed poisonous seeds she had gathered secretly from the forest, seeds known to bring slow death. She sprinkled them on one of the fruits and offered it to her sister. "Here, Sophie, you always loved this fruit," Sonia said softly. Sophie took it, smiled, and 8 hours later, she began to feel weak. Her stomach twisted, her breath grew shallow. David rushed to her side, frightened. "Sophie, what is happening?" She groaned, in pain, unable to answer. Within moments, her body went limp. David cried out in anguish, "My wife, my love." He held her lifeless body, tears pouring down his face. The village mourned deeply, for Sophie had been loved by all. Sonia, hiding her own dark smile, pretended to cry. She hugged David, whispering, "She is gone, but she must be strong." Days turned into weeks. David was broken, his home empty without Sophie. Sonia visited often, comforting him. She cooked, helped him on the farm, and pretended to care. Slowly, David leaned on her for support. Months later, whispers began in the village. David spends a lot of time with Sonia. People said, perhaps they will marry, and indeed, they did. David, lonely and grieving, finally asked Sonia to become his wife. She agreed, her heart swelling with triumph. At last, she thought, I have taken what should have been mine, but happiness built on evil never lasts. At first, Sonia enjoyed her new life. She wore Sophie's clothes, cooked in Sophie's kitchen, and slept in Sophie's bed beside David. She pretended all was well. Yet, David never looked at her the way he had looked at Sophie. His smile lacked warmth, his eyes lacked glow. One evening, as Sonia served him dinner, David said softly, You remind me of Sophie every day. Sometimes I forget she is gone. The words cut Sonia deeply. She wanted David's love, not his memories of Sophie. But no matter what she did, he never gave her the devotion he had given her sister. Worse still, villagers noticed changes. Sonia grew harsher, proud, and cold. She lacked Sophie's gentle touch. Soon, women whispered, David was happier with Sophie. Sonia is not the same, haunted by jealousy and fear. Sonia's nights were restless. She dreamed of Sophie often, standing in the shadows, her eyes sad. Why did you betray me, sister? Sophie's voice echoed in her mind. Sonia would wake in sweat, her heart racing. She tried to shake the dreams off, but guilt clung to her like a shadow. Months passed, and one day, Sophie's old friend, an elderly woman known for wisdom, came to visit David's home. She looked at Sonia closely and asked, Tell me, daughter, why do you carry such darkness in your eyes? Sonia forced a smile. I am fine, Mama. But the old woman shook her head. The dead do not sleep when their blood cries for justice. The words unsettled Sonia. That night, the dreams returned, stronger. Sophie appeared again, whispering, Sonia, you cannot hide forever. Truth will come. And the truth did come. One morning, David fell ill after eating food Sonia had prepared. He recovered, but suspicion grew in his mind. Something about Sophie's death began to trouble him. Why had she, so healthy, died so suddenly? David began asking questions. He visited the old woman, who knew the secrets of herbs and plants. She examined the fruits Sonia had once offered and recognized the traces of poison. This was no sickness, the woman said firmly. Your wife, Sophie, was killed. David's heart pounded. Betrayal cut deep. Could it be Sonia? He watched her closely in the days that followed. He noticed her nervous glances, her restless nights, her fear of Sophie's name. At last, he confronted her. Sonia, tell me the truth. Did you have a hand in my wife's death? Sonia's eyes widened. Her lips trembled. She denied it at first, but David's gaze was piercing. Finally, overwhelmed by fear and guilt, she broke down. Yes, she cried. Yes, I did it. She took everything from me, your love, the village's love. I deserved to have what she had. David stepped back, his face pale with shock and disgust. You killed your own sister out of jealousy. You are cursed. The village was called together. Sonia's confession spread like wildfire. People gasped, wept, and cursed her name. She killed her own blood for a man. They cried. The elders gathered in judgment. Sonia, you have committed the worst of crimes. Blood cries out for justice. You shall not remain in this village. She was banished, driven out with shame, alone, carrying only her guilt. Sonia wandered far. She found no peace, no love, no rest. Her beauty faded. Her heart grew heavy, and her nights were haunted by Sophie's ghost. Meanwhile, David lived on, but he never forgot Sophie. He built a small garden by their home in her memory, planting her favorite flowers whenever he passed. He whispered, My love, they took you from me, but your kindness lives on. And so, the story of the twins became a lesson told for generations. Children learn that jealousy is like fire, it destroys not only its target but also the one who carries it. And the villagers said, "Love cannot be stolen. What is not meant for you will never bring peace." Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.